think people tend to live in their minds too much, and in that process, they kind of lose themselves and they kind of lose their grip on reality. Because I think when you're in your mind so much and you are focusing on the potential outcomes of stuff, you kind of neglect the actual outcome. So, and it's easier said than done, because a lot of people tend to procrastinate. They're manifesting and they're like, right, well, I want this for the future, and it's perfect to have goals, but in that process you have to acknowledge that nothing is ever promised. You can't go through life expecting stuff, because when a different outcome happens, you tend to kind of feel like disappointed, and I think that tends to ruin the actual moment. When you have a job interview, or you're going out with some friends, or even just going to a concert, you have expectations of it, and that's completely fine. At the end of the day, if you're going to a concert and you spend a lot of money on it, of course you want it to be good, but you just have to realise that anything can happen. And during that process, I think a lot of happiness tends to come into your life. It's the law of detachment. The less you expect, the more you receive. When you let stuff fall into place and you stop worrying about stuff you can't control, your life can drastically change. And people just think it's some weird phenomenon. And they think that, oh, well, if I stop caring about this person, then maybe they'll care back. I'm not sitting here and telling you to stop caring about the people around you and stop caring about yourself, because there is no good that's going to come out of that. But I think we need to stop putting expectations on ourselves, on other people, because it's not fair. You can't sit there and expect people to give you what you want every single time. You can't sit there and expect everything to go right, whether you're in a relationship, whether you are cherishing a friendship, whether you're at a nice job. Like, appreciate those moments, but you can't expect everything to go perfect every time. And I think this is kind of linking into foreseeing the future. I'm not sitting here and saying, like, if you've got a good relationship or a good friendship, then you need to always think of the worst case scenario, because at the end of the day, nothing's ever guaranteed to happen, like I've said. But I think we just need to live life in the moment a bit more and appreciate stuff when it's happening, rather when it's over, to be honest, because I tend to find myself a lot of the time when I've got something really good, or I'm out with someone or with my girlfriend and we are genuinely having a really nice moment, and then I tend to say to myself after, well, I could have done this more in the moment, I could have been more present. But that's just part of life. Part of life is not getting everything right every time, not saying everything the correct way. We're humans, we're going to make mistakes, and when you make those mistakes, don't let it think to yourself, right, well, I've made this mistake, so that's who I am now, because that's not true. If we didn't make mistakes, we wouldn't be human. Do you know what I mean? Even the most perfect people that you see online, especially on Instagram and like TikTok, like, we're in a generation of where people are having these massive expectations of themselves, like 18-year-olds. Oh, well, this is how I made my first ever mil. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sitting there and saying it's false, because there will be people who have got that, and I'm not sitting here either like shitting on that or anything, because that's good. People who earn and they've strived towards something and they've got it, that's good. That's what we should all do. But comparison is the thief of joy, and just constantly comparing yourself and having these expectations of life. That's why you see so many old people, like, and people who are like a lot older than you, say, like, just enjoy life in the moment. Otherwise, it will just go like that. And don't get me wrong, that is true. Time, as we speak in, is moving forward. It's never going to go back. It can only move forward. But instead of going through life having that expectation of everything has to go perfect, I have to get this job, I have to get this future, I have to become a millionaire, just enjoy it and let life unfold, because before you know it, you've spent all this time worrying and caring about a potential outcome that it's not actually happened. There's this statistical find at, I think it's Stanford in America, and it's like 95% of the stuff that you worry about never happens. But people will hear that and they'll nod their head and it'll go through one ear straight out the other. And that's what I do sometimes. I listen to some people. I talk to my parents. I talk to my friends. And sometimes it's just nod and just listen. But the more you spend time stressing and just not actually living the moment, the less you have to appreciate. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand, and that's why mental health and anxiety and depression is at a constant rise, because there's just so much expectations on people and what they have to be and do. We should just be human. We should just strive to be kind, strive to be better. Make someone else's day. Get out of bed early. Make your bed. Do the simple stuff and it will add up. You can't sit there and expect everything to happen overnight, because, like I said before, we are in a generation of people wanting it all and they have no patience, and that's where the expectations come from. They expect to start a business and it explode overnight, or they want to start a TikTok and then they make one post and it doesn't get a lot of recognition and then they stop. I'm not saying settle for less, but don't settle for not trying. I think a lot of people can agree with me when I say I would rather try and fail and know that I tried than not give it my best shot and then regret not actually trying. I think people need to just take that in. If you want something, go for it. Don't let anybody else's opinions stop you. Don't let social media get in the way of it. Don't let other people's opinions and thoughts of you drag you down, because when you are on your deathbed and you are going from this world, you aren't going to be wanting all the fame and success you want now. You'll be wanting the people around you, and you'll be wanting to go. I know I will. I'd rather go and think, you know what, I tried my genuine hardest. And I think this is what I'm on about with expectations. Starting YouTube, starting social media, starting a new job, we either expect it to go really, really well straight away or really, really bad straight away. We should just let it happen. Do you know what I mean? We just need to live in the unknown and be comfortable with living in the unknown, because you can't predict the future. Unless you're saying, like, I don't know, in 10 seconds I will pick up a PlayStation controller. Do you know what I mean? And then 10 seconds pass and then you do that. That's completely different. I mean, like, stuff you genuinely can't control, don't stress about, because you're only just going to dig yourself a deeper hole. Overthinking as well. Overthinking's a massive one. We overthink all the worst case scenarios that we forget to overthink the best case scenarios. I just think social media and everything has made us so scared of being ourselves and making us so scared of trying that we're constantly living in a fake reality in our head of that we're a bad person or this has to go a certain way, and it doesn't. I think as a whole we just all need to lower our expectations and just live life how it's meant to go. We don't know what could happen tomorrow. You don't know what could happen today. Anything can happen. So yeah, if you made it this far into the video, I genuinely appreciate you. This is my first YouTube video, so I don't know how it's went. I'm not gonna go back and edit anything out because I think genuinely what I want to preach is raw material from my head. I don't want to be having to think what I want to say. I want to think what just comes out my mouth. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if it is a bit sloppy, I do apologise, but I hope out this video you can kind of acknowledge what I'm trying to say is, and just be yourself, man. Stop letting other people and your own mind tell you what to do. The little like voice in your head isn't real, okay? So I hope you can take something away from this video, and yeah, we just need to be more kind.